offer the best grooming products for you, for you. That's all natural and handcrafted too. We wanna help be your swagger, style, class, and luxury. Make our products that are made for you with high quality, yeah. So get in style with the black on the black, yeah. Company, give you swagger, style, class, and luxury, yeah. Black, gentleman, black, yeah. Company, give you swagger, style, class, and luxury, yeah.
Located at www.theblackgent.com. Yo. What's good? It's Stormybman, and I am back. Welcoming you to Answering the Bell with Stormybman, our Sunday morning call-in show for this Sunday, October 27th, 2024. We are closing out the month of October fast and furious with Halloween on the horizon. Listen, this is number 140 in the series of call-ins where we just take a Sunday out to talk boxing, talk about the fights that are on the horizon, fights that may have just transpired, what we want to see happening, the news and views in the sport, and a little bit of extra along the way. So welcome everybody out there. I hope that you have been awakened in your right frame of mind this morning and are ready to participate as we talk some boxing. We had a card yesterday that was pretty much a major card for the junior welterweight division where Jack Catterall took on Regis Prograis. We could talk about that a little bit. We've got something happening this coming weekend where we will see some more youthful talent, with the likes of Floyd Schofield coming in. And we got Gabriela Fundora, who will be participating on the undercard of that for an undisputed title, with she and Gabriela Celeste Alanis will be unifying for undisputed. So there's quite a bit on the horizon to talk about, man. It's like, there's some people keep talking like, man, boxing is dead and everything. No, it's just dead according to some who are not awake with what else is going on besides what you want, because the world is larger than just from your perspective. Yeah. So, here we are for another Answering the Bell. Don't forget, we are in the midst of a subscription drive with a move toward 8K for the Stormybman channel. I am far behind where I should be, and some of that you will have to share the blame because you don't do your job. You don't do your job in supporting Stormybman, but that's okay, because even though I recognize that, I am still more than capable of doing my part. And if you don't want to be a part of this upward trajectory, that's fine. But note that when we ascend amongst the clouds, you can't be looking to hitch a ride, I'm sorry. The doors will be closed, Yeah! You just gotta know what your limitations are. But we're here, man. We're here for another Answering the Bell. Some didn't answer the bell this morning, So count your blessings. You just never know. When that number comes up, you never know at all. Some people are aware and some are not. Some are not. Some are still filing in. You know, it's like when they hit the snooze button when the alarm clock goes off in the morning. They're like, I got a couple more minutes. Even though when they set the alarm, it was behind time to begin with, huh? Yeah. That's why they late. Habitually late, huh? And then want to complain. The world is against me. You're against yourself when you can't do things the proper way. That's right. You know me, I'm going to tell it like it is. Some of you may like it, some of you may not. You know, sounds too much like, oh, that's my old teacher talking, that's my old granddad talking, that's whatever. Whatever. Just get on up in here. Hit the like button. Make use of yourself. Be accounted. Be accountable. Be a part of the process and not a part of the mess. Yeah. In the meantime, while you're there, you keep an eye on your screen. I want to show you something. We'll get to the roll call in a minute. But just pay attention to things, because I always like to share with you guys. See, this is a part of the slowed down process. If you think this number is accurate, it's short. But I'll share it with you anyway, because this is what they're telling us that we've done as of the 24th of October. 775,000 views to the Stormybman channel. Now, we do know the number is quite high because, as the Sister Shower, my colleague and apprentice out here, shares with you what's happening, I share the numbers, viewership, as well as those who endorse by hitting the like button, huh? Now, mind you, this number is from the start of the year, because we went over 1 million views before December of last year. So it's 1,775,000. But I'm telling you that this number is short because I'm watching and tracking for myself. But if they want to say this is what I have, it more than explains what's going on with the process of discrimination. Yeah. Discrimination. YouTube has time to tell me that I'm reusing content to almost 750,000 people partaking in my looking at stuff. So either I'm being falsely accused, which happens. It happens all the time. Or being discriminated against. Someone's trying to slow the progress, but the LDBC is stronger as a result of it. Because I'm not stopping the representation of the family. I'm digging deeper and settling in. LDBC and proud. Yeah. Strength is there within. those that don't know, don't know. Even as I speak these words presently of strength, someone is sitting somewhere upset. But it has nothing to do with them. Nothing at all. But they can sit up and look. They can gape. They can poke their lip out and be an ape. But we'll still do what we do. Yeah. Over 300 people in the post-fight show last night. My numbers never run like the brother 78 Sports, who's the founder. But when they come out like that, that means that they know who I am and they know I might have something to say. Which is why my post-fight commentary was brief, because they have no appreciation for us, for me. Now my supporters do. That's why I encourage you all to do the proper thing. The Patreon is available for you. Patreon membership. Patreon subscription. Because there are alternative measures to enjoy. Yes. Yes. There be no baby boys around these parts. None. Even out of that figure there, 775,000. 750,000. To simplify matters of importance. How does that equate to 5,800 subs? Now you tell me, do your math. Some of you out there can count pretty good. Some of you, because you count the wrong things. Kilos, pearls, diamonds. So when you put those numbers together, you mathematicians, what percentage of 5,800, or what percentage is 5,800 of 775,000? 750,000. Please tell me, share me, enlighten me, because the sensei is not a mathematician. So I need a little help. Can someone help me out with that this morning? I know it's early, but get that Starbucks in you and help me calculate, please. Help me. You can do that, can't you? That's a serious inquiry, you all. I'm asking, can someone give me a hand? Do the math. What percentage of 775,000 is 5,800? Please enlighten. In the meantime, while I wait and await that response, we're going to go to the roll call. Kamara, the stepping razor, is in the building. First, Isaiah GQ. Shareable Link is out there. Shaquilla Fields, Ravens Nation, Camarin Fields, NBA D Nice, Scrapbook Boxing. Salute to my brother, Scrapbook Boxing. What's happening with you, Scrap? Glad to see you out there. Stephen L. the Mac. TD Sports Talk is in the building. What's good with you, Thomas? I saw that picture with you and Sinisa Estrada, man. Did you get a chance to get an interview, Thomas? Listen, man. Sinisa looked kind of sexy in that photo, bro. Hey, did you tell her that we covering her fight? She got a fight coming up, right? Man. Super bad. That's what's up, man. That's what's up. Darius Gilliard. Let's see. Everybody else is kind of communicating with each other. But just like I've been known and prone to say, Shower, here we are. A mere, what? 27 minutes in. Maybe 17 minutes according to all the intro and everything playing. But about 17 minutes into the show and over 50 views. But only 18 likes. You see what I'm saying? So you see how those numbers, what's true and what's not? I asked someone to share with me what percentage of 775,000 is 5,800. Now, I know I don't have a chat full of dummies because you all have made the choice to join me this morning. And I don't think that's a dumb choice at all. However, by not complying and helping to assist me make a point, I do believe I can hold dumb to the equation. So if you don't want to be considered dumb, help me out. Mahari Nation Sports Podcast, good morning to you, brother. Yeah, Shaba, always, right? Always. Even that tells you they fiddling with the account, right? It's nothing more than that. But see, I want you to partake in this because when I speak on this, this is a live stream. So it's recorded. It's history, right? So when I make my bid against YouTube, they're going to have to explain these things to me. Yeah, they'll have to explain it. So less than 1%, do you believe with the numbers that I share with you that that's realistic? Think about it. We're over 60 views now. 60. And only 20 likes. So when they tell us that these are the figures, how do they arrive at these numbers? How? When it seems to be far more. And if you do have more, wouldn't there be more to support? Because it's an endorsement. It's an endorsement of what you are doing. That's why I said 8K should be what it is, possibly more, but 8K would seem really more realistic. This has everything to do with association, and affiliation. Therefore, discrimination. Yeah. C Money Bed-Stuy says Brooklyn is in the building. Who are you? What's your story? Shaquila says I share your videos, especially the breakdowns. Some get posted, others don't. Yeah, I know. And Shaquila, please don't take it personal when I say what I say, because I understand who my supporters are. So when I'm speaking certain facts that drive home, just know that there's a great deal of you that it does not apply to. It does not. See, the real ones come out of the darkness into the light. The far ones stay in the shadows because they be worried about what somebody else thinks and all of that other kind of foolishness. They are judgmental and overly critical because they take offense. They get in their feminine energy and want to be opposing, never accountable, but just want to argue for the sake of arguing. Men, mind you, be that way. A quality and characteristic trait that should not exist within them, but they do. They do. Thomas says, I want to do a video about real versus fake, but it would hurt some people's feelings. Why would you be worried, Thomas, about hurting feelings when you are expressing your own? Think about that for a moment, huh? You're expressing your own, but you're worried about hurting some others. They don't worry about hurting yours, especially if they want to come into your live streams and ridicule and put you down, express discrimination and racism towards you, huh? Call you out of your name. Do they ever take stock in your feelings in those moments? Absolutely not. And besides, when you do something like real versus fake in a true artistic expression, it helps balance the matrix, because some will get it and some will get it. You feel me? Yeah. What do you think I do every day, huh? When I do these shows. You see there what Shower says? Be a mirror, Thomas. And what did I say a mirror was? Once known as, Shower? A vanity. Huh? Now what do we know of the word vanity? I ain't talking about the former singer who passed away. Think about it. Yeah. See, there's plenty. There's plenty to touch on, man. Been on here about what, 30 minutes now? 35 minutes. I done cooked enough to feed everybody in the chat, but I ain't ready to stop. Yeah! It's the Sunday brunch. Yeah. That's right. I apologize for that little bit of audio in the background. I thought that I had muted my mic, but I was just pouring my water. That's all. But Stormy ain't forgot about you. He's still here. Shower says, I'm just saying, show people what you see. Some will change for the better. Some will get mad. They'll both be alright. There you go. Absolutely. Yeah. Yep. See, I thought I'll let you guys see my little water backdrop first. Remember what I said about water, huh? Current, the flow, the energy, not to be taken lightly. Never. Yep. C Money says, just joined in, didn't hear the topic to tell my story. I didn't say that there was a topic. So what made you join in? See, that's what happens when people don't check the temperature of the room, but they just dive right on in. But understand there are certain places along the beachfronts that'll tell you no diving, huh? But when you dive anyway and you get injured, huh? And you need a medic, that's what the sign was there for. But most don't read the sign, right? Reading the sign is checking the temperature in case someone doesn't get the analogy, huh? Yeah. I guess that's why they sell bandages, huh? Gauze. And why they have stitches, huh? See, sometimes when you had enough taps on the britches, later in life you don't need the stitches, huh? Yeah. Abel Mahari, that's not a conversation I care to have on my air. I'm just letting you know right now. So when I do open the phone lines, that's not something I'm going to discuss. I'm just letting you know that straight away. You can do a little research and find out why the criteria is what it is and what the criteria is. and decide that whether that's something that you think is right or wrong or whatever. But understand, it's been going on far long before this day, October 27th, 2024. I'm not interested in discussing that. Jonathan Davis, what's happening? See, Money says, whoa, bro, I listened when you was on Blue Show, so I said I would follow you. Most time I listen more and slow to speak. That's fine, Bed-Stuy. That's fine. But see, listen. Remember what I said about people and getting in a certain type of energy. To command, to keep people on point. That's not said to you for you to take offense. But when I say what's your story, that's your story. You came here from Blue, the recommendation from Blue's channel. Blue will tell you. Ask Blue, especially if you are one of Blue's regulars. Ask him. The way that I hold court here it's not driven to offend or whatever, but we got a lot of people that don't understand. They be all over the place because this is the internet. And I run a certain tight circle here. You can benefit from it a great deal. But there are people who are accustomed to being somewhere and just kind of being aloof and out of place and so out of sorts and things of that nature. This is not the home for that. Do you know I have people that'll say foolish things and everything and try to take the subject off track, detract the show, take away from it and stuff like that. And you saw when I was on with Blue on Thursday, we were cooking. He and Claymore and myself, because we were in an energy field of talking boxing straight up. My Sunday morning call in, this is a way that I get a chance to get people to call and we discuss the subjects of the sport, the fights that just took place, the fights that are on the horizon. And this is like my opening monologue. I eventually open the lines up and we have conversation. Sometimes I open the lines up and nobody calls at all, which is why I've gone into having a monologue to kind to take us through the time and the step. But just like I let Mahari Nation Sports Podcast know a moment ago, I'm not going to discuss the Hall of Fame and the criteria that it takes to get there. They've been doing this for years. And my having a conversation about it is not going to change that at all. But you see, if you didn't come in early enough there, C Money, when I was asking people to give me what the percentage 5,800 is of 775,000, I had to ask that 4 times before someone finally wrote in there. But people will say things and be talking and having conversation, but I say, hey, it's serious. I'm not a mathematician, but I want somebody to try to look. Even if you took out a calculator, which I don't have time to do at this present moment, being on air live, I was like, can someone give that to me? You know, it took almost 10 minutes before I got a response to that. But if I was talking some ish, boy, the banter would be flowing. So when I say, you know, I kind of govern a different type of ship, this is what I mean when I say those things. That's all. So that's not, you know, to be taken in offense. I say, what's your story? Who are you? And then you just explained it. So I got it. If you're like, hey, I'm from Blue, you know, Blue sent me over, you know, that kind of thing. That's great. But you have to understand, from my seat where I sit, I get people out here taking shots at me too. And they'll come in Shower can tell you, because Shower is one of my most staunch supporters. People will come in and pretend to be friend just to start spamming and to take shots and stuff, and then we have to dismiss them. I get that all the time. That's just like when Blue is doing his show. He'll say somebody, he's like, okay, what you want to say? Okay, he'll tell people, click the link. He'll put a link in. They don't want to click the link. They don't want to explain themselves. They just want to be in the chat throwing rocks at them. And he'll say to them, okay, goodbye. You see? That's his way. I listen to Blue. I know what he does. But we all have our way. But understand, if you're there for the right reasons, it'll flow right, and you'll flow right, and it'll go together like peanut butter and jelly. If it's anything else, it'll be dismissed. The brother BFTB, he'll cuss you out, huh? Block you, mute you, huh? You make another account and come back, and he be right on you again. It's like he has the energy to do that. I don't have the energy to do that. I'll be like, hey, you get one shot, huh? Boxing fan times 4, what's good? He says Hall of Fame is a popularity contest. Can't really complain about it when the standard was lowered by them putting Gotti in when he never beat anyone. He was just exciting and lost to every top guy. Well, the Hall of Fame changed when a few people died off and they didn't get the quality people to replace them. And so therefore, that's why it's like, you know, anytime you put Rocky Balboa in the Hall of Fame, I'm sorry. They started to put journalists in the Hall of Fame. And old journalists like Don Dunphy, yeah, I could see them being in the Hall. But guys like today that they're putting in there, some of these ESPN men, no. Thomas says, yep. Mojave Nation says, the show with Blue, Blood, Claymore, and yourself and the other person was great. It gave me memories of the 3 wise men of boxing. Uncut conversation without any censor. Thomas says, that's what people really like, the BS. They don't appreciate good boxing talk or just good conversation in general. Well, that's that, you know, that fast food society, huh? Microwave. Everybody wants something. Oh, if you're not stimulating my feelings right now, I have nothing to do with you. Well, keep it moving, huh? Pornhub is just a few clicks down the other end of the corridor, huh? Yeah. Dankfather is in the building. What's good with you? Yeah, Shaw says Drew and BF have constant distractions. Shaking my head. Yeah. Partly because sometimes they enjoy well, I know BF does, but Drew does too in a smaller extent, the back and forth, because Drew is also trying to genuinely educate people. But I'm a little more definitive when I recognize, okay, I ain't going to get through to this person, so rather than have them distract from the show, goodbye. Like Blue says, goodbye. I like when he says that, because that's when I'll be giving thumbs up, like, thank you, Blue. Yeah. See, Money Bad Star says, I got you. I don't do drama. Blue and BF is where I heard you and appreciate your knowledge on boxing. Hey, thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. And you'll find, if you go into my archive and look through my live streams, my video breakdowns, and, you know, little special videos I do, everything is very consistent, brother. Everything is very consistent. very much. Thomas says they also started factoring ticket sales. Gotti sold tickets, especially in AC, but I still don't agree with him being in the Hall of Fame. No way. Yeah, man. Yeah. Shower says he likes lethality. Yeah, just a little bit, Shower, shots to the dome, huh? See the head, the skull explode, Like when I got that ninja wake up call meme that I like. I don't show it a lot, but I love that one, huh? She says, yeah, I understand why they deal with them folks, but it's annoying. I don't mind the lesson. It's just getting through the trolling to get there. Yeah, I know. I can't do that. Don't have the patience for that. I remind myself of one of my old instructors when I was in high school. Bill, his name was. And listen, the way he conducted his classes, he was no nonsense, But he sure had an appreciation for you when you did your work and you knew your subjects and whatnot. He give you all the acclaim, you deserve. But he did not like the foolery. He did not. He did not like that at all. Hold up one moment. I think I got a special little message that came in here. Because Catterall fought yesterday and he fought Regis Prograis. And I heard Devin Haney had something to say about the outcome of the fight. I think I got that sound bite right here. Let me play it for you real quick. That was Devin reacting to the outcome of Prograis fighting Catterall yesterday. Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, buddy. That's what's up. Man, oh man. I want to say salute to Ahmad and that Cash App donation, man. I appreciate you. Thank you for your Cash App donation. I'm sorry, I'm just looking over the announcement here, but thank you for your support. And Deacon Dollars out there yesterday during the show, he gave a Cash App donation. I think I read it, but I didn't acknowledge him personally. I'm acknowledging him personally right now. So thank you, Deacon Dollars, for your donation yesterday during the post-fight show. Yeah, man. Devin was getting it, wasn't he? I can see him now. When Regis went down in round 9, I could see Devin breaking out in the bowling alley just with that Rick James playing in the backdrop. That's what's up, man. You know, sometimes actions speak louder than words. And just know that Cash App and PayPal are accepted for those that feel like they want to donate to the channel. Both ways are in the description box, and Shower has posted the links in the chat. So there's at least 2 ways that you can show support to donate to the channel at this present time. And the Patreon is now available for those who used to be members of the channel. You can kind of like, you know, make a choice to move over toward the Patreon, where your membership would be better appreciated, and YouTube doesn't have a hand in the involvement of the percentage of monies that go toward memberships. So it's one little way to get rid of the metal man. I won't call it middle. The meddle, MEDDLE, meddle. They meddle in your affairs. So yeah. Chiquilla says, the graveyard and the strong house. You're going to get the information, but you work hard slaying the trolls. Yep. That's what it is. Shower says, you know, through all that mess, Regis said, Devin still had him pick initially. He's a genuine young man. And like a duck, he clearly lets, you know, crap roll off. Salute to him. Hey, that's because, you know what? Devin was raised right. Devin has both feet planted firmly on the ground, though he is flying high. And some may not understand that, but it's okay, because if it goes over your head, you know, just wait for the bird poop to drop. I'm just telling you, when you got someone who can teach like Bill has brought him along, that's why he's doing well in life. He's doing very well. Because he has an even keel of what's going on with him. You know, it's all right. Mahari says, I will say that Devin Haney is much more mature than many of his peers. I don't know how he tolerates this unnecessary hate. It's ridiculous. That's because the hate isn't really directed at him, Mahari Nation. The hate is symbolic of what's depleted in the individuals who have it. Think about that for a moment, and then think about it a second time, and then you will begin to understand. Thomas says, hope everyone has a great Sunday. I will catch up with you guys later. Please subscribe to Stormy's Patreon. Thank you, Thomas. Hey, Thomas, before you go, unless you're in a hurry, do you want to call in and have something to say before you go? If you do, I'll go ahead and open up the phone line. The only reason I hadn't done it yet is because, like I said, the past couple of Sundays, people just don't call in enough. You know, it's like, and then they wait for someone else to call, and then they call. Shower said my last remark was right on target. Thomas says, it's the best. I can watch all of the Three Wise Men episodes anytime. Yep. Mm-hmm. And that's great. That's great boxing talk right there when you see the Three Wise Men with Kurt and Scrapbook. Can't thank those men enough for what they've done for boxing and for our boxing community. Can't thank them enough. Okay, Thomas is already on. He's doing his show. I see his link just popped up. Anyway, the lines are now open. If someone wants to call in, the phone lines are open. Joseph Curtis just peeked into the building saying salute. What's good with you? Hen Dog, if you're still out there, I just hooked you up, bro. Mojave Nation, you still out there? Why don't you call in? I got something to ask you, and then we can have a discussion about it. Look at here, Shower. We're talking 30 likes and 120 views. The average view is 10 minutes. 10 minutes. Yeah, Chiquila, you know what? what you heard when you heard me on Blue's show, that's what you would get when I was on with Kurt and Scrapbook when we would do the Three Wise Men. Okay, I do have boxing coach and training experience, and as I've been noticed to say, I can go and work someone's corner tonight. I have no interest in that anymore, but I do have knowledge of the sport and how to conduct a corner. Just a moment. Okay, we got 651 in the building. I believe that's my man Abel Mahari. What's going on with you, man?
Yes, sir. Yours truly, the man that loves to say,
yeah. Yeah, man, that's me.
Yeah. What's happening?
Give me 1 second. I wanted to finish responding to Chiquila's message in the chat. She was saying that she was impressed with us on Blue Blood's show Thursday, and I was telling her that that's what she would get when I would be on with Kurt and Scrapbook on the Three Wise Men all the time. And I've also been noted to say that I've done some of my best work when I go on someone else's panel or channel to talk the sport of boxing, because that's when my switch goes on. See, when I'm on my own channel, I can relax and I can joke like I want to, and I can give more than I want or give less than I want when I'm here. But when I'm on someone else's panel or channel, what you get from me is the genuine boxing knowledge that I have. And I know that I have to represent a certain type of way simply because I don't play when it comes to the subject. You know what I mean? Not that I do when I'm on my own channel, but it's just that on my channel, you're getting my personality, my whatever, in its most truest form. But on there, you're getting the businessman Stormy, which is either way is good representation. You know what I'm saying? So, but that's what I was trying to explain. Give me 1 second. I'm going to mute my mic 1 second. Okay, I'm back. Are you there, Mahari?
Yes.
Yeah.
Sir, loud and clear.
Yeah, okay. So what I was going to ask you when I was saying go ahead and call, because I wanted to ask you something and then we could have a conversation about it. You saw the Catterall Prograis fight, right?
I saw some highlights of it, and then I rewinded and watched it back.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to I was trying to get enough information as best I can to really understand the fight. But go ahead.
No, okay. Well, that's a honest and sincere response, because I was going to ask you, what did you think of the fight and how it played out? I was going to ask you about that. What I thought about it. I'm sorry, go ahead. No, I was going to say, when the fight was signed, when they had announced that those two were going to fight, and it was supposed to be originally in August, I had picked Jack Catterall to win the fight. And I was like, oh, and I was telling brothers behind the scene that I talked to, primarily like Drew Titan, I was saying man, Catterall's going to beat this guy. And he was like, really? What makes you say that? And I was like, well, Jack Catterall is a good fighter, but he has had some hardships over in the UK, because the first fight he had with Josh Taylor, he clearly beat Josh Taylor, but they didn't give him the decision. It was like they were trying to keep the Taylor boat afloat, even though he had showed some rough sailings, And Taylor beat Prograis in that tournament to become undisputed. But that win over Prograis was kind of shaky in itself, because a lot of people felt like he won because he was in his country. But Prograis didn't do the things he needed to do being outside of the U.S. So I was like, if Catterall defeat Taylor like I saw him do, then Prograis was going to have even more trouble because Catterall's the better fighter than Taylor. You know what I'm saying? So it was easy for make that assessment. And then last night when I saw the fight, which I now have a video coming out on Tuesday morning, it'll be my Tuesday morning premiere. Watching Catterall work, you know, when I did my breakdown video, I talked about him being old school. And what that means is that he's very level-headed. He is a fighter that's patient. He uses a skill set. He's a thinking fighter in there. He has ring IQ. He has ring generalship. He knows how to go forward. He knows how to go back. You know, he's more complete. I saw some very good things being able to be advantageous toward him. And I noticed right away when the fight started that how Regis attacked him. It wasn't attacking him by putting his hands on him. He was like, you know how when you want to jump out on somebody and scare them, like, boo, you know, that kind of thing. That's what he was doing. He was animated. He was like, you know, like looking like he gonna raise hell, but he wasn't doing a damn thing. And I was like, Catterall's gonna figure that crap out. And it took him a few rounds to really realize what he was looking at. And then when he got hit with that shot while he slipped and they called it a knockdown, it wasn't a real true knockdown. Then when he went back to his corner after that 5th round, Jamie Moore tells Catterall, okay, you're going to have to start doing something different now because the knockdown is going to make them look at the fight different. He's telling him in the corner what he needs to hear. And Jack nodded his head in approval saying, okay, yeah. And then Jack went out and went to work. I love that about him. That shows everything that I think about him as a fighter is true. Meaning that my eyes are not deceiving me when I'm paying attention to certain elements of what he brings to the ring. And I really enjoyed seeing that transition because within a couple of rounds, he had Prograis on the canvas for real. Not once, but twice. And probably the reason that he didn't finish him was because that bell ended that round, the 9th, when he was able to put that heat on Regis. And Regis knew from that moment on, the fight was lost. And he just continued to huff and puff and pretend to blow the house down for the rest of the fight. But he wasn't doing much of anything. So that was my assessment there, Mahari Nation.
Got you. You know, for me, to me, the thing was that, you know, if the one thing that I know with Regis that he's a bit undersized, a little bit for his size at 140. My thing was that, you know, my thing with him is that if he decided to, you know, if he was smart enough to, you know, outbox Jack Catterall and not try to engage in a toe-to-toe combat situation, he would have had a chance to win the fight. But because of the fact that Jack Catterall's dimensions caused a lot of different problems for Regis Prograis, to me, it felt like he just got impatient. And it just felt like it was just not going to be his night because Jack Catterall's side was throwing him off. And there was nothing much that Regis Prograis could do to figure it out. It's like every time when he loses his fights, it's like he doesn't use his given tools to try to figure out how he can get himself out of these situations. We've seen that before. And to me, Regis Prograis to me, you know, he is who he is, but I felt like he could be a little bit better if he would have game planned his fights a little bit better. If he had a better game plan in mind, but at the same time, it's just that he doesn't use a lot. He doesn't use his IQ to try to figure out, hey, I'm facing a much more of a lengthier fighter. Let me try to, like, you know, navigate him a little bit and try to get him to go off balance, get him off his rhythm. Because Jack Catterall is the type of fighter that lets me be in rhythm. You know, he loves being in a good certain rhythm, and he was able to do that against Regis Prograis, and Regis Prograis couldn't figure it out. So that's what I thought about it.
Well, let me share this little tidbit with you about what you just said. First of all, being Prograis, you can't do what you don't have the tools to do. You know how a couple of weeks ago, well, a week ago, we watched Tim Tszyu get blasted out by the Bakram Murtazaliev, right? We saw him get blowed out. Do you remember what people were saying about Tim Tszyu getting blowed out and why it happened? Do you remember what they were saying about that?
Not really. I don't remember.
They would, to simplify it and just say, and this is not like a quiz for you or nothing. I don't want you to take it that way. No, people were saying in the aftermath, they were saying like, Tim Tszyu is one dimensional. He's like, he just fights like this. And, that's why, he needed to be more versatile and this and that, blah, blah, get it, move his head and stuff. Right. That's what they were saying about Tim Tszyu, right? You heard that, right?
Oh, I get it. Yeah.
Okay, well, check this out. Well, check this out. Regis Prograis is the same. How about that? He's one-dimensional as F. And he can't do more than what you've seen him do. But what he's done has been good enough against the opposition he's faced up until this point. The only one out of them that really has some success where he should have lost the decision, now many people forget this, was that Danielito Zorrilla. He should have got that decision over Regis because he dropped Regis too. Remember? He did. And that was before the Devin Haney fight. So if people are really, if you're looking at boxing the correct way, Regis has shown you a long time ago who he really was, a one-dimensional fighter. And it's just that I'm going to say this. Now, people may not like it, but there are those out there who will recognize what I'm about to say, and they can keep their mouth closed, or they can applaud, or whatever. Get mad. I don't give a darn. Okay? He's a light-skinned brother from New Orleans. Okay, he's been around the gyms with some noted fighters, the Charlo guys and all of that. He's been around there with Ronnie Shields and them or what, blah, 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 blah. But there is something seriously missing there. He's been strong at the weight when he was younger. He's an older guy now at 35. And the other fighters in the division are more youthful and they're a little bit more polished. Not all of them, but a few of them. And they are talented enough to pass him by because he's so limited. Now remember, when he lost to Zorrilla, he said he had to go back to the drawing board, get some stuff together, and he was going to come back, and show his desire that he really wants to compete at 140 and, be a champion there and whatever. And he beat Zepeda in a fight that was kind of like, he was kind of favored in there. He was doing some good stuff. He defeated Zepeda, who was very limited. And then he thought that he had done something. And he was never really well enough IQ wise to recognize the threat of Devin Haney. Devin was a more polished, refined boxer who had more tools, who had youth on his side by almost a decade, okay, and was coming on like gangbusters with a lot of confidence and everything. And all he and his camp did during that promotion would be dismissive of Devin, talking about how he came up, talking about he was a schoolboy, and all of this stuff that talked nothing about how they were going to defeat him. Technically wise. Not reveal a game plan, but to let you know they had a plan. And guess what? He looked like he didn't belong in the ring with Devin, didn't he? Didn't win a round, did he? And after the fight, said he was better than I thought he was. I got to go back to the gym. I got to tighten up some things. The same old Zorrilla story, huh? So what was the excuse going in there against Jack Catterall, whom I said is a throwback? Now, understand the term throwback, meaning that you can take him out of this era and put him in a past era and be competitive against guys from that generation because of his abilities, talents, ring IQ, defense, the coaching and training that he has received, his mental approach to the sport. He's not too high or too low on himself. He's always speaking about, I got to get better and stuff like that. This is Jack Catterall now. And then you put Regis in with a guy like that. He was not going to win that fight. He was not going to win that fight. And this is why when I say, you'll hear me say it on the air, you got to know what you're looking at. See, I'm giving you a full breakdown. There's some people that they don't look at it that diverse, but it's true. Everything rings true with what I'm saying here. And we've seen this over 3 or 4 fights with him in a row. So even when Devin said, I'm picking him to win, because Devin initially picked Catterall to win, I think Devin was just trying to throw some support behind the stupid guy. You understand? But I no longer do those kind of things. I'm going to tell it like it is. If I think that the brother is going to get his butt whooped, I'm going to say it. You know why? Because the same brother, when you throw supporter behind him, he'll kick you in your butt. Dancing jigs and whatnot. You see what I'm saying? So I'm going to tell it like it is, especially if it's a fish out of water like Prograis. Huh? And he's been that for a very long time. What you think the inactivity is about? It's not about nobody wants to fight him. It's about fights that he's turned down. Do your research and find out how many fights he's turned down before he took this one with Catterall and the previous one against Devin Haney. That's going to tell you everything you need to know. Remember when Shareable Matias was being considered a monster at the weight? That fight between he and Prograis could have been made easier than it was between Liam Perro and Shareable Matias. But Regis didn't want that smoke.
Mm-hmm.
So these things, when I say them to you, man, I'm always going to give it to you the real way. It's just whether or not people want to receive it or not.
You know, it's funny though, Stormy, man. You know, I just realized.
What's that?
Now I understand one important thing.
What's that?
Funny. I still remember this. When you explained what beige Smurf means. Now I get it.
Yeah.
I get it.
Uh-huh. The beige Smurf, huh? He really looked like one yesterday with his hair up like that. All you need to do is put that little white hat on his head. You know? Shout out to Bill. Because Bill finally called him that at that press conference on the day as I was rolling. I was like, yeah. Beige Smurf.
And sounds like the beige Smurf could have built himself up or probably kept himself, busy just to keep his skills into and maybe find some different dimensions about himself. But hey,
listen.
If you don't want to fight, you can't force him to fight.
Listen, man. When you got those alligator arms like he does, you have to be dynamic. You have to be able to get up in someone's grill where you can put hands on them. And at no point in that fight yesterday did he try to get up in Jack Catterall's grill. He was just trying to huff and puff and act like he was a tough guy and just, maybe I can scare him. Boo! Here I come. And Catterall was looking at him like, okay, come on, get some of this. And then after like 5 rounds, Catterall was like, this guy ain't doing, let me show him something. And then down goes Regis. You understand? It was that simple.
Right.
It was that simple.
Right.
Because the 1-2 that he hit him with, He hit him with a left a few seconds before that. Maybe about 10 or 15 seconds before that. He hit him with that left. Boom. And Regis' knees did a little buckle. And then he said, okay. And he stepped in behind it. This is what you have to do. You have to step in with your shots. Regis was throwing that little right jab up there, not even trying to land it, but just like, look at this. Look at this. I'm waving at the air. But Catterall was like, fat, right on his chin, and he went down to the canvas. You see the difference? Mm-hmm. You see the difference? And when I say these things, I'm not trying to be humorous. It may sound humorous the way I'm articulating it, but I'm telling you the truth here. When did Regis step in with some shots to really hurt him? None. He threw some wild winging shots. One time he threw himself to the canvas. Did you see that? He winged something so wildly he went to the canvas, and I thought he hurt himself, which he probably did. Because when you do that stupid stuff like that, you do hurt yourself more than you hurt anybody. I think I felt the breeze from that shot that he missed, throwing that wild mess all the way here in Chicago. I had to close my windows because the air was coming in kind of strong. But, yeah. You got to step with your shots, man, and make them count. When did he try to go to Catterall's body? At no point in time. Why? Because he was scared. He didn't want to get close to the guy. But he was supposed to be the puncher, though. How you going to punch somebody but you don't get in range to land a shot? Think about these things. That's why it's called a sweet science. You can have a whole arsenal of bombs, but if you've got no method to get them from point A to point B, then you just got a house full of artillery. You might as well sit down somewhere.
Yep. Yeah, right. Absolutely. But you forgot one more thing you're supposed to say. You're supposed to say, down goes the beige smurf.
No, those guys on DAZN, they said it perfectly, because when he went down there, I think he heard the people saying something before he hit the canvas because he tried to get up too damn fast. He was still hurt when he got up. If you go back and watch go back and watch the knockdown. No. Listen, I'm gonna tell you something to look for. If you go back and watch the fight, when he got dropped, okay, and he got up, when you wait to the end of the round, when they show the replay of the first knockdown, when he got up and the ref is counting, you look at his feet. He's trying to like stand on his toes a little bit, like I'm good. But that's the last thing you want to do is be trying to be on your toes. You want to stand solidly on your feet. And he wasn't doing that. That's how I knew he wasn't good. See, if you're a coach and a trainer, you're looking at those things. You're not looking at his eyes to see how glazed they are. A guy can have glazed eyes and still hit you with a shot and knock you the hell out. But you look at his legs and you tell your fighter, follow up with body shots. That's what you do. Watch the fight again. Watch for the knockdown. And at the end of the round, when they show you the replay, because they're going to show you from a lower camera. I was watching it just before I went live. They're going to show it from a lower camera view, the replay of when he gets up and he's kind of standing on his toes a little bit. You know, like, I'm good. And he's nodding to the ref. Yeah, I'm okay. You wasn't okay, fool. You wasn't okay. But see, like Mike Tyson says, and I repeat this all the time, it seems like almost every week now, because we're getting good fights. Tough guys get hurt in this sport. Tough guys. You don't want to be the toughest. You want to be the smartest. Always remember that. Even in life, you don't want to be the toughest. There's always somebody tougher than you, man. Declare to be the smartest. Because there's not a lot of competition for that, huh? It's not.
True. Yeah. You're definitely right, Stormy, man. These that I have when it comes to like when boxers get knocked down, that they get up too quick. I'm saying like, bro, just get your bearings together first. Use most of the count.
You know what he was supposed to do? He was supposed to, when he went down and he got up off the floor immediately. When he went down, when he recognized that he still had his faculties, he was supposed to raise up, look over at his corner, wait for some instructions from them, paying attention to the count the whole time, and make sure you get up at least by 7 or 8, not between 8 and 9, because they'll count to 10 fast on your ass when you're in another country. So between 7 and 8, get yourself up.
Mm-hmm.
So, but did you see how I just laid that out? Because I said between 8 and 9, they'll get the 10 quick on your ass. They'll 8, 9, 10, you're out. You'll be like, wait a minute, you know. But if you get up between 7 and 8, they can't wave you off of that.
Or they can go like 7, 8, 9, 10, you're done.
No, they don't do that. But like I said, between 9 and 10, it comes faster than 8 and 9. And, you know, so it's just, you know, the law of averages of understanding how they do in boxing.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Exactly. What you said, absolutely. Man, hey, Stormybman, I'm going to go ahead and step out, though, brother.
Yes.
Hey, so I appreciate you letting me call in your show.
Yes, sir.
You're supposed to say, anytime the legal program goes down, or this night down, you're supposed to say down goes the beige smirk.
Listen, man. Just make sure you do what I suggested to you. Look up the criteria on that Hall of Fame thing and do some research for yourself, and you'll get those answers. But like I said, that's not a conversation I want to have over here, because over the airwaves, because there's a lot going into that right now, and it's not right either. But just know that, so you'll know for yourself. I wasn't trying to be dismissive of the subject that you wanted to bring. I was trying to, that's not something I'm already in YouTube jail, so to speak. So I got to be careful.
All right, fair enough.
Yeah.
All right, Stormy, man. Have a great day, brother.
Okay, you do the same, man. Thank you for your call.
Yeah, no problem. Bye-bye.
Bye. All right. That's Mahari Nation Sports Podcast out there calling in with us. Yeah. Yeah, buddy. Lines are still open if somebody'd like to call in and give a piece of their mind on either the fights from yesterday or something regarding the sport. Yeah. Arb Jones, what's happening with you? I see you out there. Okay, we got 347 in the building. Who's calling? What's on your mind? And welcome to the show. What's happening?
What is good, Stormy? How's everything, bro? This is Thomas from the Bronx.
Hey, Thomas, what's happening with you, man? How you doing?
I'm all right, hanging in there. I saw that you wanted me to call. I did my little football picks and stuff. Right?
Yeah, I saw because I got the notification. I said, oh, well, Thomas is gone. He's already gone live already. I was like, okay.
Yeah, it was just like, I don't usually do that, but usually like 503 does his show, but he didn't do it today. So I said, let me just do my little picks real quick, and then that was it. So. And then here I am.
Yeah, no problem, man. Because you were saying some things out there in the chat, but I also, did you hear me when I was acknowledging that I saw your picture with Sinisa Estrada?
Yeah.
Yeah, how was that, meeting her, man? How was that?
It was cool. It was that was at the fight last month at the Kalamea fight.
Yeah.
I got on the way. We've spoken before, like back in June. So I guess she's doing more commentating for Top Rank.
Yeah.
In June, my friend got to speak with her. I need to upload the little interview he did with her. I was recording while he was talking. My co-host Sock, and she's nice. She's real nice, but when I caught her on that picture last month, she was on her way out with Mannix, and Mannix was trying to rush her out.
Oh, okay.
But she stopped and said hello, and she's real nice, real friendly. We've
Listen.
spoken before, like outside, and a lot of people don't really know who she is. Like she was walking in the street, like by herself.
Listen.
Out there in New York, like a normal person. So
listen, bro, let me tell you something. I cover on my channel the women of boxing, including the fact that when I do my breakdown videos of their fights and stuff like that, I even have a women's intro. I have several, actually. Like, I think I have 3, maybe 4 different types of intros that I use with the women of the sport, because I dedicate that aspect of acknowledging them for what they do. And she happens to be one of the ones that I've covered a lot when I get a chance, because for whatever reason, I know she fights on Top Rank, but they don't advertise her enough. So if I'm not really looking through the upcoming dates, the advertisements aren't there for her fights like they should be. So I'm always looking for her, and I look forward. I know she's got a fight coming up very soon, but I'm not sure if it's in November or if it's in December. But Sinisa.
No, she's retiring.
She's retiring?
Yeah, that's what it was. That's why I posted it. Like I saw her last month, and and I took that picture, but I never posted it. But I posted it because she's retiring. It was like a thank you. Yeah, she announced that she's gonna retire.
Wow. Then the information that I got about her fighting, maybe it was, I don't know, but I had got some information that she had something coming up in November. So, okay, well, but anyway, I'm sad to hear that because I enjoyed watching her. You know what I mean? Superbad has always been good as far as I'm concerned for what she's accomplished in the ring. Her fight with Marlon Esparza, that was a great fight, you know. Again, like I said, I cover the ladies, and especially as part of the community that I'm affiliated with, I'm one of the few that just, you know, I do that with completeness, you know. And I don't say that patting myself on the back. It's just that I enjoy it. I enjoy covering them properly because, you know, I understand that the work that they put in. That's just like I'm presently putting together something for Gabriela Fundora, who's fighting next weekend on the undercard of Floyd Schofield. And she's fighting for Undisputed. She's fighting Gabriela Celeste Alanis, who has 3 belts. And Gabriela Fundora has the 4th belt. So they're fighting for Undisputed on the undercard of Floyd Schofield's match next week. So, you know, I'm putting together a video for that right now. So you see what I'm saying? It's like, I like to talk about boxing. I'm not going to sit up and talk about these foolish young guys who don't want to face each other, don't want to fight their friends and all of this stupid stuff. Complain about purses, but don't want to be in against quality opposition, scared to leave the U.S. and go fight on foreign soil to become a real international considered champion, all of that kind of stuff. I'm not going to talk about those guys when there are other people to talk about. So that's one of the things where, again, I hang my hat in that arena. So people can get mad all they want to, but I'm doing it the proper way, man. I'm talking about who needs and should be spoken of.
No, absolutely. And that's why you're one of the better channels, you know, on YouTube, because, you know, you keep it mostly boxing and you break down fights, you know, and you talk about a lot of different fighters, not just about 2 or 3, you know. And I'm the same way. I try to do, you know, I don't do as much content as I would like to. You know, but I'm watching a lot of different fights. And then, you know, for example, I support the females too. I was at the fight Wednesday, Sharita Metcalf against Mio Yoshida. And I've been bigging up Sharita Metcalf for a while, for about a year now, ever since her you know, the first fight with Yoshida, and how she didn't get the fight, the world fight against Ebony Bridges, and Mio got the fight and she became champ. And, you know, really that was supposed to be Metcalf's title fight. And, you know, she had to wait all this time just to get this, you know, this title shot and a rematch. And she pulled it out. It was a nice little event, a small event. And she pulled it out, and it was great to see. I was very happy for her. I actually got to hang out with them. Her and her team, Marisa Hooker was there, you know, to support from Dallas. And we hung out together after the fight, and it was a good time. She was really happy. Let me tell you, she was so happy. She didn't even change my ring clothes. She came out and hung out. She was in her ring attire, hanging out at the bar, just having a good time, and rightfully so, man. It was a
great
special moment, and I was very happy for her. So
that's
things
great.
like that, I like and I appreciate, because it's like you just said earlier. A lot of people don't realize and understand how hard these fighters, work to get these opportunities, and then get opportunity to capitalize. So. And they should be appreciated for the work that they put in.
And then,
what
what the other seedy part of that is, they do put themselves through all of this and everything, and then they have promotions and promoters and managers who do dirty business with them, and that's the toughest part, because they put their lives literally on the line, man, men and women, and they have these other circumstances that the public would never know about, transpire. And sometimes it's really disheartening to know that aspect of it. That's why you don't hear me talk about purses and stuff like that. I talk about the X's and O's, because that other part of it is so nasty and dirty that it makes you not want to be a part of it. When somebody say, well, Stormy, you work with guys in the gym and stuff, it's like, why you? I said, there's a reason why I don't want to work with guys professionally and don't want to work in the gyms and stuff anymore, because you build relationships and whatnot. But see, I'm of that affirmation that I understand that people can change and people can turn coat on you and everything like that. And when it comes down to, like, you finally start to make some money, or you're getting ready to make some big money and stuff, man, the dirty stuff that happens, it's like, so I remove myself from it. That's why I proudly say what I say on the air. I can tell the truth about these guys because I don't have an attachment to it anymore. You know what I mean? Yeah. I don't have to speak clean because, I got this person as a friend and this and that. No, they don't show loyalty in that sport, and I don't have to show loyalty to the non-disclosure of what the reality of the sport is. And I'm always talking about the welfare and the best interests of the fighters. Never am I talking against them at all. I'm talking against the medically, what they should have for these guys, like especially in America, they still aren't addressing trauma with fighters ringside appropriately. The UK has really got them faded. The Australia, Ireland, those places have really got the U.S. faded when it comes to taking care of a fighter that ends a fight in distress, been knocked out, been beat up really badly or whatever. How they administer assistance, help, oxygen, all that stuff, paramedics, all of that stuff. U.S., you got 10 guys standing around somebody that just got knocked out looking at him, and then trying to pull him up off the floor and stuff under his own power and all of that, making him walk out of the ring on his own power and stuff. A couple weeks ago, Ben Whitaker pulled this man over the top ring apron with him, and they fell out of the ring. He couldn't continue. They wheeled him out of there in a wheelchair, which was really funny over there in Saudi, because he wasn't really hurt as far as I'm concerned. He was just embarrassed that he was getting his butt beat. But they wheeled him out in a wheelchair. Okay? If that was in America, they would be making him walk back to the locker room under his own power. That's how they do you. Yeah. Even if he's got a limp and fake it. You know what I mean? It's like, that's how they do you. So when I say these things, I say them with understanding that, I know what's going on. Big time.
I tell you what, that you add to that, I noticed for the first time I've seen it. So I've been at a bunch of events at the theater, different promotions. So I've been 360 promotions, Top Rank, and now this one was DeBella. And this one, Wednesday, was the first one that I've seen that the EMS was right there at ringside. Like, they was literally right next to the press row, and they had the EMS, and they had the what do you call the cards? I don't know what you call them. where they wheel you out, where they lay you down, and before they put you in the ambulance.
Yeah, the
So that was the
stretcher.
first time I've seen that. They were right there at the side. I've never seen that before. So, and the other events, they're not there, and I don't, and it's like you're saying, like they make these guys get up and walk on their own and stuff like that. But they actually were prepared just in case something was to happen. But it was the first time I've seen that. I didn't see that with the other promotions and stuff. So it's interesting,
I want to take a quick moment and say salute to Ob Jones out there with a Cash App donation. Hey, I appreciate you, brother. Thank you for that. He says, keep up the good work. I'm always trying to bring the best for you guys when I go live and do these live streams, or even I do my videos. So I appreciate your support there, Ob Jones. Thank you so much, brother. Thank you. Yeah. But yeah, Thomas, I want to ask your opinion on the Prograis fight. What were your thoughts of what you saw from the performance of both men?
To be honest with you, I was at a football game yesterday.
Oh,
so I saw the second half of the fight. I have to go back and watch. But I did see the second half. I saw the knockdowns. I saw from, I believe it was, I want to say, 7th or 8th round. And it was the round that I saw, I thought Regis hurt Catterall. So from that round, I don't know, I thought he hurt Catterall with a left. And he kind of like stumbled. And then I saw from that round on. And then, so I saw Catterall kind of like dominate after that and, hurt him. So I didn't see the first half. Me personally, I was rooting for Regis. Not that Regis is one of my favorite guys. I was rooting for Regis more because, it would look good, if he won and, because now, this is my opinion. I feel like him losing this fight and the way he looked in that second half and, talking about retirement, they might criticize the opponent, him as an opponent from when he fought, I guess he fought Devin Haney before this, and then he fought the Puerto Rican guy Zorro. He hasn't looked good in general. So it just kind of like takes away credit from what those fighters did to a former world champion, So, and I like Regis. I mean, I know he says some dumb things at times, and he shouldn't be saying, but I respect him as a fighter and what he's been through.
Have you ever heard me when I'm on the air and I said I hate dumb fighters? Have you ever heard me say that? And if you haven't heard me say it, don't. Yeah. No. If you haven't heard me say it, don't. Just say I heard, because when I've said it,
like you may say it, I've heard you say it in other words, other ways, like
no, because allow me to explain. Allow me to explain, because remember, when I say certain things, they have credence. When I've said that, I'm actually talking about fighters who show lack of self-discipline, lack of ring intelligence, lack of any type of ethic and things like that. Sometimes you'll have guys who have that aspect that applies to them more than others. And sometimes you'll have them have that aspect apply one of those things, if not all. And, it can be a sum of all things, or it could be, or it's a real standout point with this individual regarding this or that or that. And I've said that with Point, and he falls under that category because he is not his own person psychologically. And it's amazing to see someone like that, because there was a time when he had talent and potential. And as time went along, he had less potential because time is passing and you're not peaking. You've kind of trailed off. And then the talent that's there may not be where it needs to be considered top class or elite, the word that they like to use in boxing today. There are not a lot of elite fighters in all divisions anyway, but I'm just speaking here. And so he falls under that. And then when he uses ignorance, which is another badge that a lot of these fighters of this modern contemporary circumstance seem to have on display, they have more of that than they have substance of self. So it's like, I don't give guys or award them or adorn them with what's not freaking there. I don't do that. And he is one of the main ones. When you had left the chat and you went to go do your football thing, I started talking about it because, Abel called in Mojave Nation Sports Podcast, and I was talking about something regarding him. And I said, and you just actually reiterated it. I talked about his performances over his last 4 fights or so. And they've been poor. Going all the way back to Zepeda, who was not really what he once was, but he defeated Zepeda. But his performance against Danielita Zorilla was horrible. And he talked after that fight, I got to go back and polish up some things and get better or whatever. And then in the promotion with Devin, he was being so disrespectful of Devin about his upbringing, his dad, and all of that stuff. Had nothing to do with boxing. And then Devin whoops his ass where he don't win a round. And then he says, when the fight is over, well, he was better than I thought. And then when this other stuff came up with Devin and Ryan Garcia and stuff, he jumps on the bandwagon of that stuff. Dude, you lost to the man. Go sit your butt down somewhere. But no, he started chiming in with other stuff. So I'm like, okay, now they announced that he's going to fight Catterall, and they originally were supposed to fight in in August. So I'm saying to myself, okay, Catterall's going to beat him. I said this as Drew Titan. I told Drew, I said, Catterall's going to beat him. And the main reasons, and I said this during my call with Mojave Nation, if you weren't there to hear it, I said the main reason that I knew that Catterall was going to win is because I consider Catterall a throwback fighter, meaning that you can put him in a different era in time and he can be very competitive because he brings a lot of what those guys had at a different time in boxing. You don't have a lot of guys of solid substance today, and they are not students of the game. They are not guys who study the sport, study old films, study fighters, things of that nature that you can take and apply to what you're doing and become better and more sufficient. These guys today don't do that stuff. Not all of them. Maybe a handful, maybe less than a handful do. And he don't apply to that. And I knew just from that, the substance of Catterall as a fighter and man was going to defeat him. Catterall beat Josh Taylor a few years ago. They didn't give him the decision, knocked him down for the first time in his career and everything. And for whatever reason, the Josh Taylor train was high at that time. They gave him a split decision, even though he was dropped and lost a point for a foul and everything. And I'm like, this is wrong, man. And I did a video on it. I was pissed that they treated Catterall that way. So my consistency is right there. That's why I say for people that don't watch me, that's fine. But you can't come and start talking about me when I've been talking about things consistently for years. You see? And in this fight, like I said, he comes out and he's trying to show, oh, I'm a tough guy. Here I come. Boo, I'm coming after you. And Catterall is watching everything, taking his time, knowing that, okay, this guy got a big punch, but I got to watch him. But if you looked at when Catterall was scoring with his jab was very stiff, very hard, and like a punch when he got hit. Okay? Yeah. Regis is doing all this moving and stuff, burning up energy, didn't do no body work or whatever. But the telling point was when he threw that one shot in the 5th round and Catterall kind of slipped on the canvas and his glove touched the canvas, they call it a knockdown. Okay, granted, give you that. But Jamie Moore tells him in the corner after that round, he says, okay, they got that knockdown on us now. He's like, you're going to have to change it up. You're going to have to go after him more. You're going to have to step it up and this and that or whatever. And Catterall nodded in agreement and said, okay. And from that point, the fight changed because he began to fight with more purpose. And the stuff that Regis was doing initially began to not be as effective. And then when he dropped Regis in that round, if you look at before he dropped him, just maybe moments before, he tagged him with a left that kind of made Regis, his head bobble and his legs buckle a little bit. I was like, uh-oh. And then a couple seconds later, a 1-2, pop, pop, right hand jab, left hand down the pipe, right on the chin. Regis went down. I was like, he got him now. Because you're talking about a man who's experienced like an old school veteran. That 1-2 that he dropped Regis with was on the freaking chin. Precise. Not upside the head from a guy who could just punch with power, but on the chin, brother. Do you know when you see old fights, most of the knockouts came by guys getting hit on the chin? That's because they are taught to punch with precision and to focus, and punch placement is everything. You don't see that a lot today because these trainers of today, that's not what they're teaching, man. Well, so-and-so could punch. If you listen to the promoter, Frank Warren, he's always glorifying guys who could punch. But, dude, it takes more than a big-ass punch to win fights. Yep. It does. There's so much that it requires to be a winner in boxing besides having a punch. There are guys who couldn't punch with what we call great punching power, who had great careers and are in the Hall of Fame. But there are tons of guys who had great punching power who are not in the Hall of Fame. You see? So all of these things, when I speak about them, they have credence to them. So when I say what I say about like not liking dumb fighters, that's not just to simplify it because you hear the word dumb. Yeah, there could possibly be a different term to use, but dumb is pretty strong. And I say that for a reason and with purpose. And I'm sorry for anyone out there that don't agree, but he falls under that category. And you have seen the best of what he has to offer. The potential is no longer there because it's now been a career, and the talent has been surpassed by his contemporaries.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with you 1,000%. I'm gonna take a look at the fight later on today for sure because, like I said, I didn't see it. I didn't even see that knockdown. I saw it was like the 8th round, and I thought we just heard him. It was one round. He wobbled him a little bit. But like I said, I'm watching on my phone, on my way home yesterday, so, I wasn't as focused. So I'll watch it later. But I was rooting for Regis because, I got into the liking of, his conditioning coach, everybody, Tabla, he's got a big mouth and stuff, but he's a nice guy. I got a chance to speak with him in person, and then we did an interview with him. So, so I was kind of rooting for him off the strength of that. I did not think he would win, though, and I thought Jack Harrell was going to win the fight, and I was right. I was just saying rooting for him just is a little bit different than actually who I think would win. But, and I was just a little biased just because of his strength and conditioning coach, because, I built a relationship with him, and, he shared his story a little bit, so, I'm gullible. So.
Well, no. Understand this. Yeah. Understand this. The Customato said it best. He said that boxers are the greatest liars in the world.
It's true.
Because they have to convince you that they're okay, and they're not. But I'm going to go one better than Cuss. Not necessarily better, but let me just say along the lines of Cuss. When I say this, you got to be a little bit off to want to take punches in the head for a living. Mm-hmm. Think about that for a moment. Yeah. So,
and I've heard somebody else say that too. The guy that does radio, Pedro Fernandez, he said something almost the same exact words you just said as well. So it's true.
Yeah. So in other words, like you can be chilling with them and they could seem like that they're cool and everything or whatever. And you know what? Again, I know professional fighters that are, I've been close and had conversation and rapport with them and everything. I dare not call him friend, and I dare not like necessarily receive it as it's something more than what it is, because they are conditioned to show you one way and behave another at any given time. I understand that. See, that's why they will never have it over me, because I understand that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it's for the common casual that watches boxing and everything. That's not even something for you to hold fast to. Like who you like when you support the sport and all of that. But just understand that when you hear something coming from me, it's coming from someone who doesn't have an attachment, someone who isn't involved, someone who isn't like, that's my boy and all of that. I can see the fighters for their weaknesses and their strengths. I can see them for their aptitude or lack thereof, for the lack of intellect, or for the fruitfulness of it, or whatever. But I have no problem being able to articulate about any of it. Yeah. So I got a show that I'm going to do maybe Thursday. I originally was going to have a Kung Fu film show on Thursday, but I think I'm going to do a boxing raps. But I'd like to invite you on there if you're available. I usually do my Thursday show around 8 p.m. Central Time, which is 9 p.m. If you're on the East Coast, that's 9 p.m. your time. So I'd like to invite you to be a part of that. And we can chop it up about the fights that are coming up next weekend, because that's what the boxing rap show will be, talking about the upcoming fights. We got fights Friday night, I think, and then Saturday we got this coming weekend. I think the Friday fights are the fights with Keyshawn Davis, if I'm not mistaken. November
2nd. No, I think the one upstate New York. I think Oshaki.
Oshaki, there we go. The Oshaki with Consequao. And then Keyshawn's fight is on Saturday. Yeah. Right?
Okay, that sounds good, because I'm trying really hard to speak to Ali Feliz. He's going to be on that card too, so he's a heavyweight.
Yeah.
So that'll be pretty good. Yeah, I'm with it. If it's Thursday?
Yeah, Thursday around 8 p.m. my time and 9 p.m. your time.
Yeah, that sounds good to me.
Cool. So we can chop it up then, man.
I appreciate that, man. So I appreciate you. Definitely. I truly appreciate everything you do, especially, for the sport of boxing, and that's why I'm a big supporter of your channel, and I'm on the Patreon as well. I think the Patreon is great.
Yeah, thank you, man. Thank you for that.
To watch some of the old videos that I never really watched, because I haven't been on YouTube as long.
Right.
So it's really good, and I advise other people to follow the Patreon as well. YouTube be funny.
Yeah, exactly, and that's why I got I enlisted the assistance of Drew helping me to. I'm trying to transfer some stuff over to a hard drive so I could have it, because I accidentally deleted one of my shows that I thought I had uploaded to Patreon, but I deleted it from YouTube and it deleted it from Patreon. So I'm like, I can't do that no more. So I like, now I have to put stuff that I want to save to my external hard drive first, and then put it on Patreon from my external hard drive. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yeah. And I'm not really good at all that stuff. So it's like I'm trying to wait it out, man. But it's gonna be a little process. I'm doing it. But everything that I've uploaded to Patreon right now is gonna be there. And then I've got to do some things a little bit differently too going forward, because what I want to wipe from YouTube is stuff that they're trying to say that might be a reason why they interfered with my monetization. But I'm not in a hurry to get the monetization back anyway. I'm trying to do and explore other avenues. But I'm still trying to operate within the so-called rules or whatever, because I try to bring quality content. They can't even express to me what I really did wrong, but I do know that I have some things that, some things that are old, and maybe it's like their AI, if they want to say that or put the blame there, is like saying that's not acceptable now. But understand that when I got monetized, they had to look into everything that I produced to accept my monetization, and they did. So now how are you telling me now that I've done something in violation when I haven't? And you can't tell me what I did. So, you know, it is what it is.
That's crazy. That's why I don't understand YouTube and you know, and how it works in some ways, and you know, I watch other channels and they get away with doing certain things.
Exactly. All that is discrimination. Now, understand when I use the word discrimination, that's exactly what it is. And understand that racism and discrimination is two different things. So you have to know the words that you use be true to what you're trying to express. That's discriminatory. One person can do this and play other people's content and everything and call it reviews. Well, when I'm doing the same exact thing, how is that not the same in your eyes when it is the same in action? That's discrimination. Yeah.
It's weird. It's frustrating. Especially frustrating for guys like you and Drew and 78, the big channels that are really putting good content and like doing it over and over again. Like I see things. I don't put out as much content, and I'm not on all the time. I'm on mostly as a viewer, and so I see things, and I hear things. Obviously, I speak to people that I've seen, and they tell me, and I'm like, well, wait a minute, I just saw such and such do this, and then I was watching some other video, yada yada yada, doing this, and they told me you can't do that. Like they just did people just did. So I see things, you know what I'm saying? So and it's got to be frustrating. It's got to be frustrating for content creators, and it's like they're giving us this platform, for us to speak and do our thing, and it's like, you don't need to be a content creator. I believe you need to fit some type of criteria, but as far as YouTube and the social media platforms and stuff like that, you don't need no criteria. You don't need anything. You can do whatever you want. And I think they need to somehow, limit that and fix that and be more on top of it. Because anybody could put out what they want, and it's just like they're not being consistent. As far as the guidelines and the rules of what you say that we're allowed to put out there. You know what I'm saying? So.
And that's another thing too. Like you said, all of that time they could put time in watching and this and that, but when you're doing it, there should be something. But again, having these other options. Like I said, I can stay within the guidelines, but my memberships and everything, I'll take them elsewhere and make my money elsewhere. I don't have to be a part of their partnership when they have been not a good partner. It's like you turn their lemons into lemonade, because if anything, I was an asset to them. If you were watching my show from the beginning and I showed that 775,000 views to my channel, that's people watching me. So why would you squeeze me on my sub count and squeeze me on putting my name of my channel into the algorithm properly? Because this is obvious what people are watching. You're being discriminatory. You're practicing discrimination against someone who's progressing, and you're trying to hold them back. It's like you're running interference. But all the foolishness can come right through, and then guys can make different accounts with multiple channels and stuff, all headed back to the same IP, and be out here trolling and messing with people and inciting stuff. And it's like, you don't bother that. But you're like, this guy is talking too much sense. Let's slow him down. We need people to be dumber.
It's a joke. And it's like you said, with the IP addresses, there are ways to stop people from doing certain things. If they really wanted to. And the developers know that. And Google and YouTube, they've got many developers working on this, and they know this because I've seen it in other apps and other even games and stuff like that, and they have, in the chats and different things and stuff, and people get away with saying certain things and others don't. They can fix that. They just choose not to do it.
Right. So yeah, man, it is what it is. But yeah, I appreciate you calling in, man, and let's look to hook up Thursday for some more great boxing talk. And thanks for coming back to to have this conversation, because I know that when you're out here, you have a great deal of positive things to contribute. That's why I was encouraging to call in. You know what I mean? Because sometimes people, they don't want to call in because they don't feel like they can carry something, but they don't understand that once you begin the conversation, the conversation takes a life, but you have to have something to spark it first, and that's what I understand with that. So, and I credit Drew Titan to the fact that I even do this call-in show on Sundays, because he had told me after I had did it once, I think he said, "Man, Stormy, that's your niche right there. You should do that." And I was like, "I don't know, man." He was like, "No." He's trying to tell me, because I was like going the other way. I was like, "Man, forget that. I ain't doing that." So credit him to why you see this show. It's something else. And just in doing something like that, where you give credit to somebody, you got people out here that don't want to do that. People that don't want to acknowledge someone else helped them. Someone else gave them a path or a direction to head in or whatever. Yeah. That's our society of today. It's all on me. It's that kind of thing.
Let me tell you something. It helps me every Sunday. So today I'm not going on. So every Sunday I do radio. I do radio with Pedro Fernandez. It's on iHeartRadio, Saturday Radio, and it's always at 2:00. It's 11 o'clock their time. And I listen to the show, but I don't be in a chat or whatever, because then it gets me distracted. But I use the show sometimes to help me, get my talking points sometimes.
Right.
Because I'm preparing. As well as I got the football talk, and I do the football talk sometimes with 503 Lion. And, I'm, doing my lineups of fantasy and getting my picks in, blah, blah, blah. But I use this show also to help me get my speaking point, my talking points. Today I got nothing to say because I didn't see the fights. Yes, the only thing I want to talk about is last Wednesday, because I was there. But I don't think he wants to talk about that, so I'm not doing the show today. But yeah, so I'm just going out there just to say that sometimes I watch, but I won't be in the chat, because if I be in the chat, it'll distract me from what I really want to do. And
right.
Because I do take some of the talking points and I put it to what I want to say on the radio.
Right.
When he lets me talk, because the host he talks a lot.
Yeah.
But it's his show. You know what I'm saying? But at least I don't look. At least I have something to say. At times. So, but yeah, but to the point, like, and most shows, like if I'm at work or whatever, I'm watching. But sometimes I don't interact in the chat, because then it just distracts me from what I got to do and stuff like that. But people can go in and hit the like button and say hello and and stuff like that. And then people should get credit. I don't understand why people don't get credit. You're watching the show to learn, or at the end of the day, even the haters, they come on. Maybe to hate, but they're learning something as well, right? They're watching it for a reason, not to hate. They're watching it, to get their talking points too in some cases.
Listen,
for whoever they want to, talk bad about or whatever. You know what I'm saying? I know that, so.
Listen, Thomas, I'm going to give you an example while you're here on the air with me live. My analytics page is showing me right now, I've got only 49 likes for today's show. Okay, but I have over 240 something views at an average view duration of almost 12 minutes. So you mean to tell me that you have that many people watching, but they can't even hit the doggone like button? What kind of foolishness is that? And I use the word foolishness appropriately, because I'm not going to go sit somewhere for 10 minutes or more and give of my time and not endorse. You understand?
Yeah.
But you got people out here doing that. And if you want to be considered haters, then you hate yourself. Because you're sadistic. You're imposing something on yourself, your own eyes and ears, but I can't stand it. But I can't turn away from it. What does that sound like? That sounds like addiction or something even more problematic. It's like maybe, dysfunctional, maybe. Yeah. You know what I mean? So it's here we go. It is what it is. It is what it is. But yeah. But I won't hold you no longer, man. Like I said, I appreciate you giving me a call here and helping to get this content out here to the people and help them understand. But yeah, you go back and watch that fight, man. And like I told Mahari Nation, in the 9th round, when Regis gets dropped, at the end of the round, they'll go back and they will show you. Fortunately, because like some of the other DAZN broadcasts, they don't like to show the replays or whatever, but they show you the replay from a lower camera position where you see Regis that first knockdown and he gets up and the referee is counting and he's standing there looking at the ref telling him he's okay. But you can see a full body length view of him. Look at his feet and how he's kind of like on his toes a little bit, trying to tell the ref he's good. Instead of standing solidly on his feet, he's standing a little bit on his toes. And I'm like, I checked that out and I'm like, this dude is not good at all. And that's why he went down a second time just before the bell. But, it's little things like that. Again, when you pay attention and you can see, what's going on, you can really assess, oh, I see this. But yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm definitely going to take a look. I'll probably at halftime of some of these games or stuff, or after the soccer. I watch soccer. So after the soccer game, I'll probably take a look at it. So
yeah,
but yeah, definitely because I want to see it because I want to get because when I do my recap, I want to at least know what I'm talking about. So I gotta, I can't give a recap if I didn't see it.
Right.
Yeah. I'm definitely gonna take a look at that.
Okay. All right, man. Well, you take it easy, man. Have a great rest of your Sunday.
All right, you too, bro. Have a good one.
Okay. All right. Peace. Man, great call from the brother Thomas from the Bronx. Yeah. So, and we are coming to the end of another great Sunday broadcast here with Answering the Bell. I want to take a moment out to acknowledge our brother, the Focus Ball.
Get ready to take your striking game to the next level with the Focus Ball. Dramatically improved footwork, timing, head movement, hand-eye coordination, reflex, and overall fight IQ. It's lightweight and extremely portable, so you can train every time, everywhere. When you don't have a coach to do mitt work, get a Focus Ball. When you don't have a heavy bag to hit, get a Focus Ball. When you don't have a sparring partner, get yourself a Focus Ball. And when you just want to have fun punching and kicking, get a Focus Ball. When you train with the Focus Ball, you train your eyes and your brain to read punches so that you can hit and not get hit. Making this very simple device a must-have for all combat sports athletes and enthusiasts alike. So if you want to take your striking game to the next level, don't wait. Get the Focus Ball now.
Yeah, so we come to the end of another Answering the Bell. I want to say thank you to everybody that came out and supported properly, to the Cash App donations. Thank you so much. A very good show. I feel very good about this effort here, and I feel very good about you all that participated, and say thank you to everyone. I want to say shout out to the mighty LDBC, and we'll be back next Sunday for another Answering the Bell. And I hope that you all enjoy the rest of your weekend and the week ahead. Peace to everybody, and we got good fights coming up, you guys. Just keep your eyes peeled, watch for those premieres. And we got something going every morning, So peace to everybody.
What do you think of Negroes?
As good as any white man.